When's it
So,
going?
I don't know. Usually when I click it to go live there, it kind of goes live. So this could be live. We might be like, the world might be seeing us right now.
Hi, world.
It's kind of scary almost, really. I mean,
should have I brushed my teeth?
They might be judging us. They might be looking at us and saying, "What else doing there?" Good evening. This is John Young and Jeremy Landby from the Disc Jockey News.
Hello.
We are sitting here in our office. We've just been shooting videos, looking at some of the new gear out there, and we're pretty much almost sick of looking at gear. But we had some more stuff.
We're not sick of looking at gear.
That's true.
That's what we do. We love this stuff.
I know, but we got to tell our significant others that we do get sick of looking at gear, and we'd rather look at them. Oh, we got to stop that. So we got to. That's part of going live. When you have things like that, where the computer all of a sudden starts playing us back 30 seconds later, we didn't sound much smarter there than we did the first time, did we?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
No.
Got a few things we're going to do tonight.
Yeah.
This is our Thursday night show, Jeremy, and a part of our Thursday nights is, the Throwback Thursday. You've seen
we talked a little bit about that.
Yep. Well, what we want to start doing on Thursday nights is we want to just, not to pick on anyone, but we want to show some of the old systems. We all started somewhere. Yeah, and none of us are really, unless you started in the last probably 10 years. Most of us, we started with, bale or twine, and if you're not a farmer, you don't know what that means. Bale or twine, okay, duct tape.
Duct tape. Lots of duct tape.
Probably coffee cans.
Coffee cans,
yes.
Yes. And that reminds me of a disc jockey that I know from my neck of the woods.
Oh, there's numerous. We all had variations of it. Yeah. So what we'd like to do is on Thursdays, we want to do our Throwback Thursday where we're going to show some old systems.
Okay.
Now, we're not going to be basically, saying, oh my gosh, look at how bad it is, because truthfully, we're all bad. We just want to share that we all started somewhere.
We did. We absolutely did.
And we didn't at the time didn't know better.
No, of course not.
Some of us, it was so old that the stuff didn't exist.
It really didn't. And back then we thought we were the hottest thing around.
Exactly.
Because we probably were back then.
Yeah.
Because we had very limited gear. What you see in front of us here, we've got some fantastic Denon mixers. Nothing like this was
not even close.
We didn't even think about this stuff because we had no clue.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had basically cassette decks.
Yeah.
When I started, and I ran some turntables, and hauled in my big amplifier for my 2 speakers that I made in shop class, and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. As ugly as they were.
As ugly as they were.
They worked. They made people. Well, they did make people dance. We, through our music and skills of programming, made people dance.
Sure, of course.
But it wasn't because of our light shows, because let's face it, they were pretty ugly back then.
I remember coloring my old 150 watt bulbs first time with markers, with Sharpies. Figuring if I have a green Sharpie and a clear 150 watt bulb, if I color it, I'm going to get that nice until it burnt off and it sunk. And I would never recommend that now. But back in the day, we wanted colored lights, and of course there was no money for gear.
Yeah.
And you really had to get inventive. And fast forwarding to nowadays, a lot of my guys that work for me now, and I'm sure you got the same thing, they can't even imagine the stories that we tell them from 20 years ago, 25 years ago when we first started doing this, and some of the things that we went through.
Oh, exactly. They were just there's no way. A different time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was going to say that for later, but now that we've talked about it so much.
Yeah.
Now, to start off the Throwback Thursday, I don't want to make it look like that I'm above or we're above this. So I've got one of my early videos from when we started. Now this is let's see if I can. I got to check and make sure the audio
will come through.
Source. I'm hoping it will, because part of of this is that we were playing when we shot this video. We were playing some songs that were at that time.
Sure. So we're looking at probably about the same time I started. So we're looking at about 1988.
I think we figured 89. I think is
something like that. By listening to the songs that you've got playing in the video.
Just a second. I got to do one thing so the video won't loop.
We're live, by the way, and we
Yeah.
don't even know if we've got any viewers right now. We probably don't, but if we do, and if you're with us, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to us. It's great. So you'll see in a second, hopefully, one of John's early shows from back in, I would say, 88, 89.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got racks of CDs behind him, or are those
Yep.
cassettes?
We're going to try to pause. We're going to pause if we can. That's what I want to find out where how I can pause. Where my pause all movies is. Apple Shift P. Okay, the laptop's over here that's controlling our feed. So
Got it.
So we're going to.
Okay,
There
so,
we go.
All right.
So we're looking at the video. What you're seeing now, for those of you who have come into this into the day of computer,
Yeah.
you haven't seen right here. We point towards me because it's on, it's on this side.
I see that now.
Yes. Those are 3 racks. Now, what those are CDs in there, which most of us know what CDs are, but those are still in the jewel case. So books didn't exist.
Of course not.
Sleeves didn't exist.
Sleeves didn't exist.
We're talking 1989.
Yeah.
This is probably fall of '89.
And this is pretty big time, actually. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember myself in fall of '89 probably having, maybe 30 CDs.
Yeah.
And a bunch of cassette tapes where we do our own mixes on our cassettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, how much do you think those things weigh right there?
You're probably looking at, I'd say 30 pounds per case. At least that.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah, probably 40 pounds a case.
We decided we wanted to make those cases out of something solid. So that is a 1x, and with a 3/8 inch plywood backwards. So we're looking at probably 1x6s, I'm thinking.
Which you built.
We built those things, yep. So we would have those, and we'd get them all into the trailer, put them all together, face to face. I think there was actually 4. I thought we built them in sets of 2. So we put them face to face and kind of bungee strap them together.
Sure.
To protect things. So that's it. We'll continue.
No. Before you continue,
Yeah.
we're not making fun of anyone. If you're still that guy that uses CDs and bring them all in, there's a better way to do it. But if that's what you're used to, if that's what you like doing, that's fantastic.
Precisely. Yeah. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
We're not doing that here at all. We're just looking at one of John's shows back 20 years ago and how he did it then and how it worked for him then.
Yeah, and then in the part that as I look at that and I'm thinking to myself, I don't have. Do I have that thumb drive? I have got a little thumb drive here that we were using earlier tonight.
Yep.
Every piece of that media is probably could be contained on that little thumb drive.
And the thumb drive's probably a 2 gig.
Oh, sad but true. Okay, let's see if I can move this forward a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's see if it'll go.
Oh, there's
We're looking at it.
So there's John's show. There's John's shirt. This was your partner back in the day.
This is a partner. Now you're looking at. His name's Warner, and what you're seeing him work on is our coffin. We actually built, and this is before people were talking about building cases for things.
Exactly.
So we thought we were so cool when we built this case.
Yeah.
And the very first night we took it into a bar. We were doing a show, and we had, you can't really see it, but we had garage door handles. Two on each end.
Sure.
So he grabs one and I grab the other, and it's all, and we're walking through, and someone says, "Hey, whose dog died?" Because it looked like a dog coffin.
Now, how big is? It's an awfully big case.
It is.
I can tell in the video, but how heavy is that thing?
That thing was probably because we had. I believe we had 2 CD players, maybe 3 CD players, and 2 tape decks in there.
That's really high tech for the late '80s.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were light years before what I was doing even then.
Yeah, that was huge. When you mentioned shop class,
Yep.
if you see to the right of Warner's hand down in that corner down there,
I see it. Yep.
there was my shop class. That was from the metals shop. We made this little box, and it had we drilled little holes in there so we could go to Radio Shack and get little momentary switches. And what we did is we ran a 12-volt system with our lighting.
Yes. Okay.
We had some that were 110, but we had some 12-volt lighting. So that is a little metal box with a lot of switches, and you'll see as we continue on.
Okay.
What our lights were. So that was our. And I'm gonna stop us with that one.
Right about there.
Right about here.
Okay.
So now you can see on the top, that is the back of our speakers. We have a stack of PV speakers right there.
Sure.
You're looking at the back of the light box, but those are 12-volt lights. Those are the beacons that they would put on snowplows.
Okay.
And that's what we ran for special effect lights.
Sure.
So let's keep going here.
Okay. Looks like you're doing a prom.
It was actually a homecoming.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, the kids at that school.
And sadly, homecomings that I do these days kind of look like that as decorations still.
Yeah.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, that's always interesting.
I'll pick on a school right now, and you know, we are 20 years later, 25 years later, and decorations maybe have changed that much. So
streamers, and it was so. I remember the girls were always so proud to me. They'd go and they'd enclose this little spot. You know, they'd make the dance floors. And it was this very small school.
Absolutely.
Our graduating class had like 15 people.
Yeah.
So, and this was actually the high school that I graduated from.
Oh, so that was a proud moment for you to even be here doing the homecoming.
Yep. So this was a big thing for us coming back.
Sure.
And this was the biggest sound and light show that they had at a dance.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, prior to this, it was home speakers that were coming in, and now as you can see, we had the PV3 358s or 388s, I think is what those were.
That was a little bit before my time. I was more of an SP2.
Yep. That would have been before that.
Okay.
And that was a single 18 sub. So I think the top, everything could we pushed those with 2 CS 800 subs.
Okay. Yep.
Because we were at the time PVs, and we got a local dealer, and at the time, internet what?
Yeah, exactly.
Mail order, huh?
Yeah, you're working all with those guys, and there was mail order companies that came out. I'd say in that early '90s, but you didn't have mail order companies till then. And once you got online with some of those, then you could get a little bit better deal.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you could go to that catalog and get a little bit, not just a better deal, but a heck of a bigger selection of stuff.
Precisely.
Oh, incredible. Anyway, go ahead.
I think at the time when we did this, they had maybe 2 or 3 lines of speakers. That was it.
That's all they had.
And we didn't know that other things even existed, and some of them didn't. But but yeah, and then as you can see, right in the middle, the big gaudy Soundforce sign.
Yes.
This is back when this was high tech. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, what they did is they took a black bed sheet.
Sure. Yep.
And they took fabric paint and made the little Soundforce. And you can't really see it, but here's my 12-volt lighting coming again. We've got little clear beacons on the bottom below the sign, so that when you hit one of those momentary buttons, it would do like a blast or basically a punch light and illuminate the side. So you'd be like, in this day, if the song would have been, it wasn't, but
Sure.
Thunderstruck, you could have been playing that, you could have gone, and it would have, woo!
Before Thunderstruck,
way before Thunderstruck.
Yeah, at least a good 3 years. So you're at 1988.
Yep.
We're looking at over 25 years ago with this sound and lighting show. And
we got to talk about those floods.
okay, let's talk about those floods.
Okay, so here we've got another box right there.
Sure.
That box, went plywood, and I got that and built the box.
Yeah.
But those floods, actually, we were walking through the mall, and again, I'm a college student this time. So my girlfriend at the time and I are walking through the mall, and there was a place that was closing down.
Sure.
One of these clothing stores, and they had these lights up in the ceiling, and it's like, huh. And it said everything for sale on the thing. Come in, make an offer. They were selling racks. It's like, hey, how much for those?
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever, $2 or $3 a piece. Well,
Perfect.
They were cheaper than the bulbs. So we bought these fixtures,
Sure.
and we had to do a little modifying of them, and they were all, literally just like wood screwed up into the box.
Very creative at the time of the period that we're talking.
Exactly,
Yes.
but they had blinders. You can barely see the blinders, but they had like little blinders on them, so they were so cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And of course, those are all spray painted.
Yeah.
We spray painted the bulbs.
And like I said again, we're not making fun of anybody's show. If your show does look like this and it's 2014, you can update. There's many things that you can really step up to 2014. I know DJs that their shows still look like your show did in 1987, 1988.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to think about upgrading. And I'm not making fun of you, but this is John's show 26 years ago.
Yeah.
That's light years in the industry that we're in.
You just made me feel really old.
I'm sorry.
That was 25 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, so let's play a little more.
So let's see if I think we're pretty much at the end of this video.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear any volume on the video or not, but he had an Aerosmith song playing right away, and then a Winger song from the band Winger. Yeah. And the song would have came out in 87, 88. So John's thinking this is most likely Homecoming 88.
Mm-hmm.
Homecoming '89. And is this Grey Eagle Homecoming?
Yep, this would have been Grey Eagle.
Grey Eagle, Minnesota.
When they had their last one. They probably had a couple more dances after that. And
Sure.
then they combined. So
my first homecoming was in 1990, and I played the Warroad Homecoming in either '89 or '90, and I had already DJ'd for a couple of years before then. But my show looked a lot like that, but my lighting wasn't even close to that high tech yet.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
Yeah, that was a lot of labor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the sad part about it is when you really figure out the time and the money. I mean, there was money still. That wood wasn't cheap.
Absolutely.
We decided, and I don't know why. Now that I think about it, we used cedar. Why did we use cedar? I don't know why we used. I just don't understand why we.
Your DJ smell really good.
Yeah, I don't know why we used cedar, but yeah, we did cedar on those things.
Sure.
It wasn't cheap. But
no, of course not.
Now we could get the same light show effect. You could get two of the, any number of with the quad LED and the bar.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah. For next to nothing for cost compared to what it costs to even make them nowadays.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So that was one of our. That was the 19. We figured 89.
89 or 88. Yeah, something right around there.
Ballpark.
So the next video John's got.
Let's make sure I've got audio there first.
Is right around 10 years later, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get audio on this or not.
We should have audio.
This is a shot at another school. It looks like, but it looks like it's in the back of the room. There he's got, I would say, it's an intelligent lighting fixture scanning back and forth. He's got his colored lights on top, chasing either pinspot or maybe some plugs, and a really nice show, typical of about 1998, 1999, somewhere right around there. By that time, most of us had some intelligent lights, whether it be an American disc jockey light or a Martin had a few lights out at the time.
Yep, those are Martin 812s actually. Now you mentioned the Martin lights. Those are right now we're watching the 812s go.
Yeah. So right now we're looking at right on 15 years ago. The show looks really nice. I mean, you're jumping up 10 years in John's show from a 1988 to a 1998 show. But what a difference! It really, it looks like a rock band there. Really,
exactly. It's just so much different. The very first show we had 4 people on site that night because we had to.
Sure.
This particular one we had 3 people on site, and besides schlepping gear back and forth, we didn't need to because by that time, we were all on compilation. We were making the change over to compilation. We were getting some of the subscription services.
Yes.
So instead of having to, okay, there's one hit on this disc, and then that disc. There were times where we were playing some of these recurrent discs that had 4 or 5.
Well, it was incredible.
Much easier.
Promo only was out. I remember getting my first promo only, I want to say, in about 1994. And then a year or 2 after that, getting some of the radio edits of TM Century then. Yeah. And fantastic stuff back then because we didn't have anything like that. Yeah. There was nothing like, we could barely record our own music on a disc for that matter.
Yeah.
So gosh, incredible stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. So that is Throwback Thursday for tonight. Looking at some of our old footage there.
A lot of great memories. Yeah, that's for sure.
There was some good stuff there.
Yeah, you bet. Good. Do we have anybody checking us out tonight?
Can't tell. I'm not sure exactly how the numbers work when we're doing this, but what generally happens is that we get a few people watching live, and then overnight tonight, some of you will be seeing this tonight at midnight. You could be doing something fun, or you could be watching us look at old equipment, video, and
bringing back memories. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
If you've got some pictures or video like that, we'd love to talk about it. And we could even, Skype you in to talk about it. Again, it's not to pick on anyone. It's just to have some fun together, laugh at some of the things we did, share some of the things, because some of it was, I've seen some really creative. So one guy, I saw one of his early shows.
Sure.
He went to Radio Shack and he knew how to do this, and he literally had a speaker, and at the top of the speaker he built so you had 3 light bulbs.
No kidding.
A blue, a red, and a yellow.
Sure.
And depending upon the frequency, the blue was his bass, and it would hit on the bass. And his red was his mids, and his yellow was his highs, and it would go to the music. It was the coolest
Incredible.
thing. It was the coolest thing.
And this has got to be at least 15, 20 years ago now.
No, that was before you saw mine. So that was he was one of the first DJs I saw that had that.
So about the 85.
It was about 85, 86, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. I went to Radio Shack one day and I was asking a guy, and well, that was a mistake because they may look smart.
We remember those days.
Yeah, they may look smart, but so yeah, if you've got some video or you've got some pictures of some systems, I've got a few older systems pictures and even that, and I'll pull those out. Some of them were I actually had hair back then, a lot of hair. I mean,
you and me both.
It was like, how did I get my poofy hair? People give me crap. I look like Conan O'Brien. Well, if they'd see those pictures of my late 80s, early 90s, sure. I did. My wedding picture, if you've seen that, it's like, oh my God, my wife married Conan O'Brien. The darndest thing.
So if they want to send you something, just get a hold of you.
Yeah, they can send it they can message us through Facebook. They can, John at discjockeynews.com, message, whatever you want to do. We want to just share some history of the industry is really what we're after. We're not here to laugh at anyone or just to laugh with and have some fun. So
exactly.
That'll be our Throwback Thursday. So
perfect. All right, real good.
Okay, let's continue. First off, Cheesapalooza.
Yes.
We did that at Mobile Beat, and we've had a couple of contestants. We are going to Sunday night be doing the drawing.
Oh, fantastic!
And if you didn't get a chance to enter, you still have a little bit of time.
Okay.
What they can do is they can shoot a video of them being a cheesy DJ. It doesn't have to be long.
There's a lot of us out there.
It doesn't have to. They can be just basically, "Hey, how you doing?" Woo-hoo-hoo! Just a little bit. That'll get you entered into the contest.
Okay.
And what they need to do is basically shoot it, and they can email it. So that's what I've been getting most of them now, because a lot of folks are a little bit kind of leery about putting it on their YouTube. Because they don't want to have.
I understand.
Future bride.
Yeah.
So they've been shooting it with their cell phone, and they email it to me, and that's cool. And as long as I've got your contact information, so I can enter you in.
Sure.
Email it again, John at discjockeynews.com. And what we're going to be doing Sunday night is we're going to be doing a live drawing, and we're going to be giving away a trip to Minneapolis for Disc Jockey News Conclave.
Oh, wow.
5.0, which is happening in December. It's December 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay. December.
No, I'm just kidding.
November.
Did I say it wrong? Yeah. November.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I'm December, I'm just so excited because it's Santa time. Sorry. November 9, 10, 11, and 12. It's a Sunday through Wednesday.
Oh, wonderful. All right, that works for all of us.
So what we need to do is you shoot a video, you get in. Sunday night we're going to draw. Whoever we draw out, they're going to get airfare to Minneapolis.
Okay.
We're going to leave them at the airport because, we really didn't, No, we're going to get you from the airport to the convention site, which actually is a shuttle, so it really is no magic
for us. It's very short across.
Just a couple of miles away. You're at the Embassy Suites in Bloomington.
Very nice.
Not Embassy Suites Airport, which is just a little closer.
Sure.
I mean, they're literally 2 miles apart. But Embassy Suites in Bloomington, we got you a hotel room for you for those nights.
Okay.
And then we have a show pass. So
that's huge.
Right. So, for this particular person, it could be worth $10 million. No, not quite.
At least 1,000.
At least it could.
Circumstances.
It could, because by the time you get over everything added.
Absolutely, it adds up.
So it can be anyone who wants to enter. You just have to give us a few seconds of Cheesy DJ.
All right.
Get it to us, and we're there.
Cool.
Speaking of the Conclave, coming up, we've got some really cool stuff, and I want to talk about one of our speakers that we have got set up for this. It's a gentleman by the name of Carr Hagerman.
Never heard of him.
Carr Hagerman is well known in the business world. He is a professional entertainer.
Okay.
He is he does a lot of things with, like, he's a street entertainer. If you've ever been walking, on a boardwalk or something, and they unfortunately they have names for all this, and I apologize for what they are doing. Those of you who know this or seeing this and you're cringing right now because you're like, John, say it's this, and I don't remember what they call that. They've got a special name for the guys who are out there on the streets, and basically they're in their space and they're creating this unique experience and drawing people into their circle of their performance.
We've all seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
So that's
what this gentleman does.
He does some of that, but he has studied that, and from that he has written a book called Top Performer.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's a very cool book. It's a business / performance book.
All right.
I picked it up in the airport a number of years ago, and we've actually had Carr speak. It was a long time ago, but we've had him speak at a couple of Disc Jockey News events. He's coming out with some new material. He's writing a new book.
Okay.
And he's going to be doing new educational seminars for businesses. Now this guy travels internationally teaching.
Wow.
If you remember a few years back, the fish philosophy, where they talked about these...
I remember that, yeah, absolutely.
The fish, where they would be, they show pictures and they're throwing fish and they're doing their things and having
fish
fun.
markets, yeah.
Yeah, the Seattle Fish Market. Pikes Peak, or is it Pikes Place? Anyway, the fish market in Seattle.
Pikes Place, I believe.
I believe it was, yeah. He was one of in the book, when you read about the fish philosophy, they refer to Carr, because Carr was one of the guys who helped put that concept together, and he was teaching it around the country. So this guy is well respected, a great presenter, and he's going to be our Wednesday morning keynote.
That's fantastic.
This guy is, he's just entertaining to watch. There's just some people you just enjoy watching.
Sure.
Even if they're just kind of standing there, they're just, for some reason, they're enjoyable to watch. And he's one of these guys. And then when he talks, he's intelligent and he's got a great message. And every time I've learned something from him, every time. And this is even times when I've just watched him, talking to some of my friends in a circle, and it's like, wow, that was really cool. I got to take a note of that.
Wow.
So I'm really excited we were able to get Carr.
Sure.
Again, he'll be on Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Literally, and I know this sounds cheesy because, coming from the show promoter, Carr, just his presentation is going to be worth the price of coming up here.
No
because
kidding.
This guy, I every time that he's gone, he's just done a fabulous job. So he's
everybody's been able to take something away from what he presents.
Oh, exactly, because he not only he has, he comes from the business. He does a lot of speaking in the business world and the sales, so he's got some insights to that. But he's got some performance ideas, and that the whole improv world. A big part of what Carr does, if you are familiar with Renaissance festivals, they do those around the country.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we have a huge one down in the St. Paul area.
We do, yes.
St. Paul, somewhere in the metro area.
Shakopee.
There we go. Yep, Shakopee area. Well, Carr's one of the guys. He does a character there called the Rat Catcher.
Okay.
And he's a side, doesn't talk really, but he does this Rat Catcher character that is just fabulous. And it's the scariest, creepiest looking person in the whole wide world. You see, and when a friend of mine introduced me to Carr and said, "Yeah, he's a rat catcher," it's like, no. I've seen a rat catcher. Rat catcher is the scary, this creepy looking old.
But it's the same guy.
It's the same guy. Yeah. This young, handsome man who's, he gets into character. But that's his street performer persona coming out there, and the way he, is in the moment. We talk about the guys who are taking improv classes, wanting to be in that moment and connecting with the guests, and he just is a master at that.
Wow.
And he does it in many cases, especially as a street performer, without words. That they are able to do things and move people and engage people in ways in which you don't think of. It's not common. It isn't natural for us to think that way, because especially as DJs, we like to try to run things with the microphone.
We do.
And there's many times when you watch and you're listening, it's like, wow, there's ways to do things and move without
having to talk.
And yet it seems to be much more effective. So anyway, I'm really excited about that.
That sounds very exciting. After you explaining it to me, that one of the many things, of course, that this year, and this is an anniversary year. Is that correct?
It is. This will be your 10th year. 10th
year.
We started in October of 2004.
Yep.
And now, so come October 2014, we'll be on our 10th year plus 1 month.
Time flies.
So it's
incredible.
It doesn't seem like it's been 10 years.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. It just goes. So it'll be our 10th year show. We've got more keynotes. We'll be talking about those in future videos because I want to kind of spread things out. But it's going to be a cool show. Really excited about it. So.
And we're looking at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yes. Yep. We're going to be. Typically when people had come to the hotels, and this is a frustration I have when I go to shows, is that checkout in a hotel is usually in the morning.
Sure.
So my choices let's say it's Tuesday evening's our last day. Do people check out and then luggage with the bellhop and then after a full day of conference, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And now I've got to try to travel home. So what we decided to do is we're going to have a kick butt party Tuesday night.
Perfect.
Basically, we're all going to go over to Bill Herman's house and we're going to eat chicken. No, scratch that. You didn't see that.
That was the plan.
Shh. We're supposed to keep that quiet.
All right. Quiet. So what's our plan?
Anyway, Tuesday night we'll have a big party.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday morning, we'll get up. We're going to come down and spend some time with our vendors. We're going to Carr is going to basically take us home. He'll be wrapping things up, and he'll be done probably around 11:30. We'll have a little more time with the vendors. Then the hotel is going to give us a late checkout, so everyone can go and basically be out by noon.
Oh,
so
nice.
It'll be kind of a more relaxed time. A great message, a great concluding seminar. And then we can go and, for a lot of us, we can catch an early afternoon flight back home if we need to.
I like that idea a lot.
Otherwise, for those of us driving, most of us can be back by supper time.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds great.
I think that's going to be a really good plan for us.
So Sunday night, not really sure what we're doing yet. Sunday night, we're
going to have some kind of a welcome party. That's
okay. The
Sunday afternoon is when the vendors come in and they're going to start setting up. One of the cool things we did at Conclave last year is we had in the evenings, like from 5:30 to 7:30, wasn't it? We had a kind of a time of kind of a social time.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yep. At Embassy Suites, if you've been, most of us have been to an Embassy Suite, but they have a manager's special in the evening where basically they've got some hors d'oeuvres out and they have beverages, and you just kind of sit around this little garden area.
Kind of a little area they've got set up. Yeah, absolutely, and it's very relaxing and a great time to just kind of talk to your fellow DJs about anything you want.
Precisely.
And you get to know other guys and bounce ideas off them. I mean, a great time for that.
Exactly.
I love that. Absolutely.
Exactly. So we're going to go from that to that 7:30ish time frame. And then from there, we've got some special suites set up.
Oh,
where
cool.
we're going to, we've got some larger suites this year. We had suites last year, and we were wondering, how popular that was going to be. To people, to come up and have pizza. We had Chauvet DJ. They sponsored some pizza up in the suite last year.
Very popular. Very popular night. Yeah, it was full. And we had other great sponsors as well.
Yeah, exactly. We had Electro Voice, who was involved with the next night. They did some food up there. Just had a lot of great sponsors across the board for the event.
Absolutely.
The suite Sunday night, or it was a Sunday night suite party that we did. It was full, literally.
Yeah.
I think we were standing in the hallway just because we had to.
Yeah,
There was no room, so we've gotten more suites. We've got larger suites to do pretty much the same thing, because the idea with that conclave is the time to get together and talk.
Absolutely. And kind of throwing back from last year, vendors really helped to make it happen.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously, attendance, that's huge. But our vendors last year, we had Metro Sound Lighting from right here in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yep.
Fantastic guys.
Yeah.
And Ben from Northern Light Effects and Bemidji and Kat came down. And lots of information there, lots of great products, lots of great deals. And then, obviously, Chauvet was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Representatives from Chauvet were there to answer any questions. We had Yamaha was in the house.
Yep, Yamaha was up in the side.
Yep, DigiGames. DigiGames was there also. Help me if I'm forgetting somebody. Another speaker company.
Don Pro Audio.
Don Pro Audio. Yeah, great stuff. And brand new. Something I'd never seen, and they're presenting it right there at our conclave. More than I see it before I see it in Vegas. I see it before I see it at other conventions. But it's in our backyard.
Yeah, and let's see,
great stuff.
Going around the room, we had Ricky was here from Promo Only.
Yes, absolutely.
Ricky,
great stuff. Yeah.
He's up there showing people the pool. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's a download music service where you can get your music literally, depending upon which one, if you're doing video, or you can literally get something new daily. Crazy.
Ricky explained that a lot to me, and I wasn't quite familiar with everything that they could do. And they can even take your old library. Say you had promo-only videos for years. He can take that and you can get it online by sending your discs back or something.
Wow.
He explained something like that to me. Obviously, talk to Ricky, not myself, but there was a real neat way of getting all of your videos put online where you've got access to them anytime.
Oh, wow, because the part I liked about the online is that we always worry about, okay, I got everything on this hard drive. What if the hard drive fails?
Exactly.
Or, okay, I've got all my computers and they're in the office and the office burns down.
Heaven forbid that would happen. Absolutely. I've thought about that as well. And I've had Jones TM for a number of years and Promo Only.
Yeah.
And for me to get back to the office and then not be there anymore, all my discs, all my hard drives, they're gone.
Yeah,
it's shot.
Good.
So they've really answered a question to have that covered.
For sure, and that's a cool aspect of that. So
like you're saying, going around the room, we had Ricky.
And then we had Ricky was with Digigames, and then we had Don Pro Audio. We had Triceratops.
Yes, that's right.
They were talking about their download, promoting their download karaoke, which is a very cool thing that I've been using an awful lot with.
Absolutely.
With doing my teen events and even some weddings and such where you've got someone who comes up and or you got to kill some time with a game.
Sure.
I've used it for a singing competition where it's like, I'm going to take the top three, who's my three best singers, when I'm doing a teen dance, and then it's like, oh, I am, and then you have the three kids come up there. It's like, you guys pick a song, you're going to sing 30 seconds of a song. What song do you want to be? Oh, I want to sing this one. You log in and found the song, boom, download, put it into the computer, and I was playing it within, literally the longest one took me 2 minutes, and it was a great activity.
I love it.
That was fabulous. Okay, so continuing around the room, then we had Yamaha, we had prizes. So for some of the door prizes, we had Hercules had some things there. We had some Hercules mixers. Yep. Hercules controllers there.
Fantastic.
We had Stanton, the SCS4 DJ. A very hot controller. It's a standalone controller.
Yep. I recall.
Can be a computer controller, but that one was really popular because of the capability to use that as a standalone for like a wedding ceremony.
Yes.
That alone was really hot.
American Disc Jockey Association.
Yep, they were, as we come around, they were
coming around to the other side. Yep.
We had DJ Event Planner.
Yes.
They were over there.
Here. Absolutely.
They had their booth talking about their online event planning system. Let's see, I don't think we missed anything. Then the American Disc Jockey Association, one of the largest DJ associations here in the country.
And the president was at our conclave. Drax was at our conclave.
Came on up and got
answering questions for anybody. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, it's just wonderful to have him there and to be able to be the voice of the association and be able to answer questions. I mean, they literally people are asking the top person,
the top guy.
Yeah,
and he's in the room.
Yeah, that was really kind of cool. And then of course we had Metro. We're back to Metro.
And back to Metro. And Metro had a huge section there and great products, great specials.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of American Disc Jockey. He had, when I'm talking about I'm talking about Larry and his guys, his wonderful guys from Metro. And just full of great gear. And being able to run through any of those pieces of gear right there with you.
Oh, exactly.
So if you got any questions, I mean, it's right in front of you. It's great.
Precisely. It was neat about it is that there were guys coming up there, and they had a beautiful display. They had some reps there from ADJ.
Yes,
answering questions.
Yeah.
They had all the different ADJ lighting up there. They had some American Audio gear there. They also had Electro Voice stuff there.
Yes, that's right. I remember. Yeah.
And as people were coming in, and they were like, "Hey, I was thinking about buying this," and Larry's like, "Yeah, we've got it." He was literally people running back and forth to the store.
I know.
So I mean, it was a 15 to 20 minute drive.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Larry's a huge supporter of the DJ industry,
Absolutely.
and he's a supporter of our events and different things within the industry. He bends over backwards to help, and it was really nice that to have both of the the Minnesota-based retailers there between. Metro Sound and Lighting and LFX Pro out of Bemidji. So
absolutely
good stuff. Good stuff. So we're really looking forward. This will be a bigger show this year.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
All right, next on the agenda tonight.
Last up, we're gonna do is we're gonna look at these. And we're going to have to move our camera a little bit, and we'll deal with that in just a second.
Sure.
But what we are looking at right here
I'm going to stand here.
Yeah, let's move these chairs out of the way.
Okay,
that'll be. This is live, so it's going to be a little bit rough here. But what you're looking at right here on the table is the Denon. We're looking at the Denon MC6000s, plural. We have the original version.
The original version right there.
That's the 6000.
Yep.
Right there. And I've got the MC6000MK2, which is
brand new version.
Brand new that just came out.
Yep.
And basically what we want to do for today is we're just going to kind of, set them side by side, bring the camera over and just kind of compare and contrast a little bit. Just some of what we're seeing on the two. We're not going to go into a lot of detail with the components inside.
Sure.
From my understanding, now you got to listen to the presentation at NAMM.
I did at NAMM, and I did at Mobile Beat in Las Vegas. Go ahead.
Now, as far as the internal components, was there much of a difference between?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
A lot of different controllers. When you look at each deck. There's some things that have been changed. Your pitch control on the brand new deck is at a different position than it was on the old one.
I'll bring the camera up.
That'd be great, John.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
This is live, and weird things happen when you go live, or you do weird things like that. So we're going to just come up here, and And let's just turn. Okay.
All right, so this is the brand new Denon DJ mixer, the MC6000MK2. So brand new. The back of this compared to the old one, if you want to pan over to the old one, is darn near similar. If you can see the differences there. You've got your microphone going over and your second microphone, your line ins going into your master out, which of course are XLR. Both of them have a booth, which are 1/4 inch. And then they've added a few things with the USB. With the old one, you've got USB audio and you've got a couple of different options there with USB. On the new one, you have got your output source, your mixing mode, and also you can switch back between PC and Mac. Do you see that, John? Hang on here. I apologize. I'm backwards. Live, as I said.
Yep.
The old one, you could switch over from PC to Mac. That doesn't matter anymore.
There we go.
It's all the same on the new mixer. So I know some disc jockeys, especially disc jockeys that work for me, were a little confused about, what do I do with this, Jeremy? Do I go back and forth? What's this mixing mode? They have changed that now on the brand new mixer. You don't have to worry about that anymore. So a little bit more simple. There is, I'm looking for the record out. I believe they've eliminated the record out.
No, I think it's down here. They had the ability to change that USB. And here, they didn't have that ability. It was just the PC or the Mac input.
Okay, I see
so that is a little bit of a difference that, in essence, is it an in or is it an out? And I've seen that in a couple of different boards. Modern boards are starting to use that. Specifically in live boards, some of the bigger boards that are being used for like bands and stuff.
Oh, sure.
That technology is really coming on.
So looking at the new mixer compared to the old, your sliders are off to the sides. Your pitch control sliders are off to their sides.
Compared to
the old one, which they were up on top, you'd have to reach over your spin wheels here, and I honestly didn't like that. I liked them off to the side a lot better. You still have your 4 on here. This is what it says, a Serato board, compared to our old board, which was a virtual DJ board. I have not hooked up this one yet. I've not used it yet. I've just I've heard a lot about it, and I saw it at the show, and I saw help me out, the gentleman from Denon.
Jake.
Yep. Jake did a presentation with just him and I with the brand new Denon and showed me the bells and whistles on it. It's awesome. A lot more simpler than the old board. I like it a lot better.
I think it's the layout. I really think it's the layout is just more intuitive.
Absolutely.
On the new board. I really think that's probably the biggest thing.
I'm going to flip this around, John, so you can see the front compared to the old board, the old MC6000 front. So obviously some changes on the front as well with the knobbing, some different options, I believe.
Yep, just a little bit different, but really not a ton. You know, we still have our microphone controls.
Yep.
We've got our 6 mic controls there. I'm gonna leave the camera sit. So you know, we really don't. You know, we have our crossfader, assigned crossfader. That pretty much stayed the same. Mm-hmm. You know, our headphones is probably only, as I'm looking at it here, is to have a little EQ on the headphones. You know, because we had our level on
here.
The
You had a
here.
Monitor split. Okay, so there's a little bit of a difference there, correct? Is this now
actually,
down here?
Yep, I guess, I'm sorry, everything's down there. So yeah,
Okay.
literally everything that was up here is moved down here. And I suppose they did that so we could have the sliders put into the spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, part of this is, gang, we're learning this as we're going.
We really are, absolutely.
We have the 2 of them side by side. I've been using the 6000, so it'll be my next event. I'm going to be moving to the MK2 to see what the difference is. You know, and as Jeremy mentioned, the Serato and Virtual DJ, that's what they were shipped with. That doesn't mean that that's the only thing they can do.
That's absolutely correct. You're right, John.
Yep.
It's not. They're able to work with both.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, almost any MIDI software, some of it is set out of the box. Some of it is something that you know, you may need to do a little mapping, and that's cool. I've mapped some software so it can work with the boards, but it's always cool when it's out of the box, because the people who design software and they can set it up, they do a much better job.
Yeah. All right, great. So there's your two mixers, the old compared to the new. We'll be shooting more video of the new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing some more stuff. Then you're seeing a few things, cosmetics. You're seeing a little bit with a lighting difference. Because again, all we did is we just powered these up. They're not being connected to a controller.
Exactly.
A little, silver where there's black and black where there's silver.
Yeah.
I do believe the jog wheels may be they seem to be a little larger on the MK2.
Just a hair,
if at all, yeah.
If at all, and weight-wise, about the same. Nothing's really changed there with your weight.
Solid units.
Very good, solid units. The new one may be a little bit, maybe a pound, maybe a pound and a half less weight, and that's really about it. So great, John. Anything else you want to include?
This is the new stuff from Denon DJ. Again, the MK2, we're going to be taking that out into the field. Rack mountable. Somebody was asking about that the other day. The original was rack mountable. The new one is rack mountable. It comes with the kit for rack mounting.
Okay.
It's just, from my perspective, I'm not a rack mounting person.
No, I'm not either. I just take it in as is.
As you saw from my video, with the coffin. Yeah, we don't do much.
Not much has changed in 26 years.
Exactly. We don't do a lot of stuff with that. So yeah, that's the Denon boards. We'll look at that some more and get some more information. If I turn that, then we can see if we're actually talking to.
Hey, there we are. Perfect.
Again, live video. We do weird things. So that's about it for us for tonight. Sunday night we'll be back. We've got a couple of interviews lined up.
Perfect.
We'll be doing the drawing for the Cheesapalooza. You can still get your cheesy entries in. And then we'll have some more fun. So
maybe I'll grow a couple inches taller between now and then, and I'll be at John's height.
That would be awesome because the alternative is for me to grow a couple of inches shorter, and that would hurt.